Now, I came across this article on age gap relationships, which I found very interesting. Whilst it wasn't specifically targeted towards foreigner Filipina relationships, I believe this can be applied universally. And I believe this article will go a long way towards dispelling many of the stereotypical beliefs that society often have towards a larger age gap relationship. Now, I'm not going to read all of this article to you, but I will put a link in the description below so you can check it out in more detail. The article starts off by saying, why is it that older men love dating younger women? And many people don't think much about it. It doesn't require any research to realize that they love someone who makes them feel young at heart. However, why is it that younger women who love to date older guys are often stereotyped? So the attraction to an older man from a younger woman. Some say that these younger women have daddy issues when they want someone older, but that's not always the case. Others say they're just interested in money, but you must put stereotypes aside and realize that some women love their senior guy because of his maturity. They also crave the worldly wisdom they've obtained as well as the financial stability they've acquired. Keep in mind that financial stability doesn't always mean wealth. It just means that they've made blunders at a young age and they've already learnt their hard financial lessons. Now, this is something that I often talk about in my videos around a lot of Filipinas actually looking for an older man because he's more settled in life. And yes, he can provide security in many forms, not just with financial security. Society tends to accept a small age gap, which is anywhere from 5 to 10 years difference. However, what about the women that date men that are old enough to be their fathers, or as we often see in the Philippines, even their grandfathers? Is there a limit on age restrictions? And how do you know if the age gap is too much for the relationship? Now, this is a very good question, and I think it's something that a lot of people often ask me. How do I know if the age gap is going to be too much? Let's see what the article says. There are both evolutionary and social motives behind a woman wanting an older man. Irrespective of the motive, both parties will have to overcome much stigma and many stereotypes to be together. And this is certainly the case when a foreign guy is with a Filipina who's especially much younger. Many people will stop and gawk when they see an older man holding hands or kissing their younger woman in public. It has to do with cultural norms and what society expects. Well, you know what? I say screw society. That's my honest opinion. People passing have no clue about this couple, yet they're ready to make snap judgments on what they see. And that is very, very true. You could be walking downtown, holding hands in a supermarket, and people will stop and they will look and they will whisper and they'll give you these dirty looks. And yet they have no clue about you or your Filipina. Many studies have been conducted on these types of relationships, and science has come up with a few answers. So in 2018, a study examined why there is so much prejudice and stereotypes when people are involved in age gap relationships. The bias rate was much higher in a relationship where the woman was much younger than the older man. So as the age gap becomes more and more and more, the prejudice and stereotypes became even greater. Now, whilst this is true with Filipino foreigner relationships, I still see many who are even closer in age that still have some issues around this in being accepted into their community simply because of she's a Filipina and you're a foreign guy. Many think that the man has the upper hand in these unions, which equals relational inequality. Older men that enter a relationship with a younger woman are often called cradle robbers or dirty old men, but the women are called gold diggers, both of which are derogatory terms. Other women see the younger lady with an older gentleman and they perceive that they want a comfortable lifestyle that money and this guy can offer. In other cases, they may insist that it's the connections and resources they wish to gain to help further their career or obtain a certain social status in life. And this is something that Filipinos often get accused of, that they're using the man to get into his country to promote her life in some way, or even to promote her status within the Philippines and her own community simply by virtue of the fact that she's with a foreigner. Not all relationships are about money or influence. In fact, many people are together because they love each other and nothing else. True love doesn't look at the chronological age and see any difference, as it's more focused on the heart. Now, whilst in the Philippines there are Filipinas clearly who are chasing the man solely for his money and what she can get out of him, there are many, many more who fit into exactly what they're saying here in this article. They're looking for true love with an older, more mature man. And there's nothing more to it. Yes, they might want some stability in their life because they've never had it. Yes, they may want even financial security. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as that's not the only thing they're looking for. If a genuine long-term relationship is her goal with a man that she loves, then where is the issue? Now, here they're talking about a study that was done in 2016 to find out why women wanted an older man as a partner. When the age gap is more than 10 years, people think it's an unhealthy relationship with the father. So they're saying that an unhealthy relationship with the father causes them to go out and find an older man so they can rectify their negative feelings they had towards their father and create a better memory of that in some sense. The study wanted to prove or discredit this theory, and they found that it's not fair to stereotype people because there's no truth in these claims. Of the 173 participants in the study, 44 were dating men at least a decade older than themselves. Most of these women had good relationships with their fathers and did not seek solace or a father-daughter relationship with an older man. So that's pretty well dispelling that theory that some of these women are just looking for a daddy figure to take care of them and look after them for the rest of their life. Now, I know that particular study is not huge, 173 participants, but around 3/4 of them went on to say that they weren't looking for a father figure, but they preferred the company of an older man to make them feel secure. If the father had been a great role model for the younger woman in life, then the maturity level they observed growing up brings them comfort in their relationship. So if their father was a really good role model to them and really looked out for them, then they want to find a similar thing with a man because of the maturity aspect, knowing he can provide that sort of relationship to her. Younger women want pleasant and strong relationships regardless of age. A couple with any sort of age difference can enjoy healthy, satisfying, and loving relationship, regardless of whether there are ulterior motives or one of the parties suffers from past childhood issues. So the article goes on to say 5 reasons why younger women like older men. And the first reason is strong genetic profiles. It's assumed that younger women are still in their childbearing years. When looking for someone to be a father of their child, you'd want someone who ages well, is financially secure, and has his life together. It sure makes it easier than being with someone young who has nothing to offer. They need to feel secure is one of the biggest reasons for the attraction to an older man, though it's not about how much is in the bank. And I think we all want security. I've mentioned that many times in my videos that it's not just Filipinas looking for security, and it's not just financial security they're looking for. It's just security in life, in the relationship, and as you go through life together, knowing that you've got each other's back and you can get through anything that comes your way. Number 2, they say older men have confidence. An older gentleman has already been through many storms in life and has developed an aura of confidence. They have a great deal of experience and are wise beyond their years. To the young ladies who have much to experience in life, it can make things better to be with someone who is well seasoned. It's hard when you're younger and you worry about money. Though the older man may not have great wealth, they probably have a home and a car, which is quite appealing to someone just starting in life. It takes time to really build your career and be able to afford such things. And this is very true. And this is the same for a Filipina foreigner relationship. All these same things are attractive to a Filipina. But again, as long as it's not just about that. When you're looking at why someone loves someone, it's not just one thing, or it shouldn't be just one thing. It should be many things combined, which create the overall package. And the many genuine Filipinas I've spoken to over the years have told me similar stories to this very article. Number 3, they know how to treat a lady. Perhaps one of the most appealing things about the older gentlemen is that they know how to treat a lady. Going back even 2 decades ago, men still opened doors for the women and treated them like a queen. The older generation lived in vastly different times, which is very, very true. Sure, they expect a meal on the table when they get home from work, but they have no problem in pampering their princess. The guys these days have a different set of morals and values that is nothing like those born before 1980. A few men show that chivalry is still alive, but it's very few who appreciate it. And this is exactly where the union between a Filipina and a foreigner comes into play. Why so many foreigners are looking for Filipinas? Because many of them are happy to take care of their man, like women did back in the 1960s and 70s, and prior to that. Really, I believe a lot of men are searching for that old-fashioned relationship, and this is why they go to the Philippines. Number 4, older men are interested in the mind too. These days, people become intimate on the first date. Unless you have something that goes beyond those one-night stands, the relationship may fizzle. This is something I always point out in my videos. Take your time to get to know the Filipina and so on. Because if you rush it, you just can't get to know the person properly enough in order to form that foundation, or a very solid foundation, that will stand your relationship in good stead for many years to come. Women love intimacy just as much as men, but they want someone interested in their minds too. They're more about finding someone they enjoy talking to over coffee and bonding. So what they're saying, it's not just all about the sex. That's more intellectual stuff they're looking for. And number 5, they've got style. What happened to the days when men knew how to dress like a man? Few women find it attractive when males have their pants hanging 2 inches below their underwear or holes in all their clothes. Some of the styles of yesteryear should make a comeback as they rival any trend of today. So in essence, they're saying that a lot of these younger women who are looking for older guys are pretty well sick of the younger guys who go around with their baseball caps on back the front, and they've got the holes in the jeans and their pants is hanging down. You can see their big butt crack. These guys today seem to think that's the cool thing to do, but clearly a lot of women don't see it that way, and they're more attracted to the older man with the older fashioned values. So as far as Filipino foreigner relationships go, we're looking for the same thing. A foreign man is looking for a Filipina with the values that she has of yesteryear, and the Filipina is looking for a foreign man with the values of yesteryear. So that's why they connect very, very well together. So this article goes on to give its final thoughts on younger women dating older men. True love isn't about age, skin color, wealth, or religion. It's about mental, physical, and spiritual connection between two people that conquers all obstacles in their way. Who are we to judge these couples? And that's very true. Who are we to judge these couples? But still, society will do so, and they will continue to do so for God knows how many years to come. When it comes to love, variety is the spice of life. One woman may prefer a man in his 50s who loves animals. The next lady may want someone in their 70s with a big bank account that can spoil her. There are all sorts of reasons why people fall in love. But society likes to typecast or stereotype the traditional relationship and judge those that don't fit into that mold. If you're lucky enough to find someone in life that makes you feel better about yourself, gives you a reason to smile, and holds your hand through the darkest days, then you've found a treasure that is far greater than any label society may give you. While many younger women love men, most do it for the right reasons and no ulterior motives, which is very true. And I've been saying that for a long time. And I get a lot of criticism on that when I say most Filipinas are genuine. We often hear about all the scammers out there because that makes more interesting reading, more interesting news, and people like drama, especially on YouTube. But the facts are, when you sit down, you actually start talking to many, many women, as I've done over the years, you do find everything in this article is very, very true. So let me know what you think of this article in the comments below. And if you're looking for more valuable free information and tips around dating a Filipina, be sure to check out the card on screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.